What's up YouTube, awesome Yugioh here, and right now I'm here with a little bit of a recap of the Banlist we just got, effective immediately if I'm not mistaken, or 16th of July, and yeah, I believe it goes into effect right away. And right here we have the 3 most relevant hits in my opinion, so I'll go over the list real quick. It's not really an announcement video of what the list is, because I'm pretty certain everyone has seen it by now. But the entirety of the list contains as follows. So there are 2 cards that are banned, one being the Djinn and one being Lavalval Chain. Then we have a new card that is on 1 right now, limited to 1. From banned is Trishula, and then we have also Shurit, Strategist of the Necroz, at 1 right now, coming from an unlimited spot. So that's a definite hit against Necroz, and I'll go into all of these hits, or all of these changes a bit more in a second. Atlantean Dragoons went up to 2, so only 2 cards were put to 1. 2 were banned. Only 2 were put to 2. 1 being Atlantean Dragoons, 1 being Dragon's Ravine. And then up to 3 right now: Lavalval, Sinister, Serpent, Dark Strike Fighter, Sacred Sword of 7 stars, Temple of the Kings, and Exchange of the Spirit. So starting with these 3, which are, like I said, the most relevant hits. Lavalval Chain banned. Some people were kind of questionable on both banning the Djinn and Lavalval Chain, but you have to see the bigger picture. Lavalval Chain isn't only good for the Djinn log, as it was used mostly in the last couple of months. It's a degenerate card in general. Definitely counts for the Djinn. Djinn ban is absolutely fine. Making that soft locks is just not fun for the game. So this ban, I'm actually absolutely fine with that. Probably should have happened last list, but it did now. So yeah, that's fine. Djinn ban. Lavalval Chain didn't only enable the Djinn lock. It enables a lot of OTK plays. And yes, it was kind of a good card for some archetype there that aren't relevant at all, like zombies, insectors. It helped those decks as well. But having the 2 effects, both stacking and sending a monster to the grave, it was too much, and I'm not mad that it got banned. I actually think it's kind of fine. Mostly, like I said, because it's just a degenerate card, and it has too many options. It can be too versatile, and yeah. It also is a hit to the Clownblade deck, which we'll be getting, which is good that they keep that in their mind. I don't know if that is why they did it, but if that is the case, then I'm actually absolutely fine with that as well. So the 2 banned hits, perfectly fine with me. Then putting Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, to 1, long overdue, absolutely fine with that. Definitely, I'm going to make some decks in which I can make Trishula. And I hope I'm going to have some fun with playing it. And even if I get hit with a Trishula once in a while from now on, I think I can deal with that. So Trishula to 1, like I said, long overdue mostly. Then we have Shurit to 1, which is a hit to the best deck right now. Let's see if I have a Shurit right here. Shurit. I won't have all these cards laid out, by the way, but I do have some of these in hand reach. Shurit to 1. It's not the hit I was expecting for Necroz, but I think it's a decent hit. It makes it so that you have to play a bit more carefully with Shurit. I mean, people were only playing 2, so you're losing 1. It's searchable with Rhoda. You only really need 1. But having the 2 in the later grind game was really important. But this isn't that big of a hit to Necroz. I still think the deck's definitely viable without question, and it's probably still going to be within the best decks. Now going into that real quick right now, Shadol, Burning Abyss, and Clifford didn't get hit at all. Like, really not at all. Which I kind of like. I kind of like it when we rotate decks out, not by the ban list, but by getting other decks. And I'm sure we'll be getting a lot of decks relatively quickly with who will be able to compete with or just be better decks than what we have right now. So since Necroz was definitely the best deck right now, we kind of weakened Necroz, making it so that Burning Abyss, Shadol, and Clifford get on the same level, and now Shaddoll and Burning Abyss and those decks can't go on a we'll just make our deck to beat Necroz sort of road, because you're going to be facing a lot more Clifford and Burning Abyss and Shaddoll as well, which might actually make Necroz a bit better in the longer run, since people might be dropping Mistake from the main deck, since Mistake isn't good against Burning Abyss nor against Shaddoll. And when Mistake is removed from the main deck, Necroz might become a little bit more viable. So I kind of like that when you let stuff sort itself out and just use the ban list for a bit of tweaking, not just trying to destroy decks, which Konami has done over and over again in the past, but not in the most recent list. I think Konami has been doing a pretty good job in the last couple of lists, and I'll probably get a lot of hate for this, because people wanted Necroz absolutely dead, and they wanted Burning Abyss dead, and they wanted Shaddoll dead, and they wanted Satellite dead, and they wanted Clifford dead, and on and on and on. Everything that they don't like to play against, but just because there are decks like, well, let's say Insectors, because personally I love Insectors, they can't compete anymore, but that's just the power creep. Konami can't keep banning everything or limiting everything just to make sure that decks like Insectors or Dino Rabbit or Windups or even older stuff like Six Samurai continues to be viable. That's just not good marketing, that's not good business. And now what they should be doing or could be doing, in my opinion, is giving stuff back a little bit quicker. So we're going to semi-limit here with Atlantean Dragoons and Dragon's Ravine. Now, for example, Dragon's Ravine or Atlantean Dragoons, now we're giving something back to Mermail, and that is a good thing, of course, because Mermail hasn't been relevant for 1, maybe 2 years. Atlantean Dragoons here, 1, maybe 2 years. So, giving Atlantean Dragoons, bringing it back to 2 might make Mermail a bit more viable. Now, I feel like this does say that we either will get the OCG exclusive Atlantean card, or we will not. So why I say that is because we might get it because you might be able to sell it a bit better with Dragoons at 2, because Mermail will be a really good deck then. Or because we won't get it, they say, alright, then since we are not going to print it for the TCG, we can just put down the where you can put Dragoons to 2, since the deck won't be relevant for a while anyway. But I feel like what they're doing with this, with both Dragon's Ravine and with Atlantean Dragoons, they could do that a bit quicker. We could have seen Zen Mighty of the Banlist, we could have seen Dragonfly to 1 or 2, or Arrow to 2, or Hornet to 2, one of the 2. Rescue Rabbit has should have been able to come back by now to 2 at least. And there are a couple of more cards like that. So they are doing it. In my opinion, they can do it a bit faster. But that's pretty much all I have to say on that. Dragon Ravine to 2, of course, absolutely fine. The Dragon rules are bad. It can come to 3 as well. Let's see. So now we unlimited. We have Glow Bulb, which is fine. You're only using one because it is once per duel. So I think like only some Makina Karakuri version or something like that. You know, those kind of decks, they might be able to abuse more than one, but that's irrelevant. Sinister Serpent to 3. This, of course, thanks to the errata. It's absolutely worthless in my opinion. Dark Strike Fighter, same thing, also the errata. Sacred Sword of 7 stars to 3. A list too late. The Dragon rulers once again are bad, so Sacred Sword is irrelevant. It might actually help out a little bit with Mermails as well, if someone wants to run it, you know, with the level 7 spam Mermail, or with the Red Eye support that's coming out. I believe all of those are level 7 as well. So you might actually get a bit of a draw engine with that going. Temple of the Kings, once again, errata. Terrible card, can't come to 3, no reason for it to be on the list. And Exchange of Spirit, once again, same thing. So all in all, I think this is a good list. I like that not a lot got hit. What I only comment I can make on Konami here is that they should just get rid of some lists on the ban list, or get rid of some stuff on the ban list a bit quicker, you know. Like, I do enjoy what they did with Dragoons, putting it at 2, but there are a lot of other cards that can come off the ban list that are still banned. Dark Magician of Chaos, for example, even with Outdoor Errata, since we don't have that yet, but you know, that can come up the ban list. It can at least be put to 1 for now. And like I said, some older archetype cards that are still on the list that could easily come up. In my opinion, like maybe even Gateway could come back to 1. It won't be that abusable on the long run. Yes, I mean, there will be games in which you would win just flat out because you open the gateway, but I don't know. But yeah, some lists should come off the ban list quicker, so some stuff should come off the ban list quicker, but all in all, I kind of like this list. So in the comment section down below, let me know what you think of this ban list. Are you one of those people that actually or absolutely hate that none of the meta decks got an actual hit? Because even Necroz, you know, you see all these 3 cards in Necroz, but it's not that big of a deal. Really isn't. And I'll do an update profile, of course, of all decks in order of, I don't know, in order of what I like to do or viability, stuff like that. But I'll do an update on Necroz, and I'll do an update on Clifford. I'll do a Towers deck profile, and I'll do an update on Mermail, I think, and I'll definitely be looking into a deck to use Trishula in. But yeah, so be on the lookout for that. That's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, in the comment section down below, let me know what you think of the ban list, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!